Hello, WinCraps fans. I'm sometimes asked if it's possible to make bets for the dealers in WinCraps. Yes, it is. It's not perfect, but here's one way that you can do that. First, let's create a player, and we're going to name this player Dealers. You can just really choose any spot you want. Give a name, and then for bankroll, we're going to enter 0. Now we're going to go to the configuration screen. We're going to click on the bankroll tab. We're going to select dealers and make sure that the allow negative bankroll is checked. Next thing we're going to go is the bets tab. Now you might be playing, say, at a $15 or a $25 table, but you want to be able to make bets for the dealers down as low as $1. Then you're going to have to make sure that the minimum bet is set down to $1. If you're going to make higher level bets, of course, you can change that as you deem necessary. Next thing we're going to do is go to the auto play screen. We're going to select dealers, and we're going to check the auto pass dice box. Dealers are not players. They're not going to shoot the dice, so we're just going to keep them out of the action there by checking that. Also, when dealers typically win bets, they take the winnings plus the bet down. They're not interested in pressing or parlaying. They want to get the bucks. So we're going to check auto handle winning bets to take bet and winnings. Handle losing bets, we're going to just leave on no bet. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So let's say we have a player here, Big Tipper. He's betting the pass line plus odds, and he really likes the dealers. He wants to get them in the game here. So what you do is click on dealers, click on whatever check you want to use, and make whatever bet you want to make. So let's say he wants to make a $5 pass line bet. Now he rolls an 11. He wins his bet. The dealers win theirs too, but we don't get a box asking us about it because we've set it to automatically come down. So the dealers took their winnings and came down. So where are their tips showing? I don't really see anything here. What you do is you go to the statistics menu, bet results screen. You can click on the dealers. Now, normally for a player, you would look over here on the net to see all the net effect of winning and losing. The dealers are not losing any of their own money. So what you do instead, we're going to be looking at wagers, wins, and losses. Right now, the dealers have won a total of $5 off of $5 wagered. So the 5 and the 5 is the total that they've got in tips. That's $10. $5 and down. All right, let's try another one. Big Tipper wants to make another $5 bet. This time, he rolls a come out 3. Pass line loses. Let's take a look at the bet results screen. Still got the dealers selected. We can see a total of $10 in wagers was made. You still have the $5 that they won, and there was $5 that lost. So how much have the dealers made in tips? Well, it's still $10. 5 from the original bet plus the winnings. So the way we get that out of here is we take the wagers, $10, subtract the losses, 5, that gives us 5, and add back in the winnings, 5, that gives us 10. Okay? It's not that difficult, but it might be a little bit of a hassle. So why don't we make that easier? We're going to open a AutoBet script, and this is a script I have available on cloudcitysoftware.com. You can download it. It's not very big, but it's called Dealers. It has a little preamble to it. You can read that if you like. And then it starts out initializing the script, doing the things that I just showed you. You create a player, main dealer, and then the script says, first of all, it gives it a negative bankroll. Now, it could be a negative any amount, just some kind of negative. And what this does is it's going to trigger the allow negative bankroll. It's going to set that to true. Then you can set the bankroll to what you want, which we want is 0. Next, we're going to set the auto handle winning bets, auto handle losing bets, and auto pass the dice to true. And that's it. That's for the initialization. Then it's going to keep a running total of the dealer's tips. And it's going to record those on check stack number 1, which is displayed on the table. So it's going to take the sum of the total amount wagered. It's going to subtract the sum of the total amount lost, and then add back in the sum of the total amount won. All right, let's activate that. Let's go back to the table here, and we can see check stack number 1 is showing $10. Well, we won the first $5 bet and came down. That's $10. The second $5 we lost, it doesn't affect here. So here's the dealer's tips showing right here. No math necessary. So let's say this time, Big Tipper, he's still playing his pass line. He wants to bet $1 each on the hard ways for the dealers. Selects the dealers, puts down the bets, and now let's say he rolls a hard 8. what happens here? Dealers hit the hard 8. Now, the hard 8 pays 9 to 1, and the dealers come down. So it's $9 plus the original dollar bet comes down. That's another $10 in the coffer for the dealers. So they had 10 before, and now it's showing 20. So this is, in fact, correctly showing the dealer tips. Now we could go look at the bet results screen again, just verify that. What we had here was a $5 wager on the pass line that won, a $5 wager that lost, and a $1 hard way that won. That's a total of $11 in action. $5 lost, and there was $14 in winnings. So 11 minus 5 is 6. That's $6 worth of tip from just bets made, plus $14 worth of tips that were won. That's a total of $20 won. Hope that makes sense. At any rate, there's the dealer's tips showing. Now, the only problems with this, and we may change this in the future, we may create a separate thing for making dealer tips, but the problem with doing it this way is that if you have multiple players on and you want to break the tips down into separate players, what tips came from what players, well, then you're going to have to add in some extra code to track that. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. If you want to just pool it all together, it's not a problem. The other problem is whichever player makes a tip, it doesn't deduct the tip amount from their bankroll. So you'll be able to see how much you made in tips for the players or the dealers. You can see how much they earned. But in order to figure it with your own bankroll, you're going to have to take the total amount that they lost, or excuse me, the total amount that they bet, and subtract that from your bankroll. So that will give you the total figure. So let's say right now we can see Big Tipper's at $3,000 bankroll. And if we look at the bet results screen for Big Tippers, the total amount wagered was $11. So we'd have to subtract $11 from $3,000 bankroll. And that will tell you how much Big Tipper actually has in remaining bankroll. So not the best in the world, but that'll give you some ideas. And like I say, we'll probably upgrade WinCraps in the future to include something for the dealers. Have fun with that. Take care. Bye.